Hello, this is my video on 2013, and I'll look back at some of the things that happened, and why the next fucking year will probably not be any better, and maybe even worse. First of all, started out with Sandy Hook, if I'm not mistaken. Of course, this was a massive murder. Some asshole walked into a fucking, elementary school and, killed a bunch of kids. So this started a huge debate over whether or not we should allow people to own guns. And basically the government argued we shouldn't have guns, or certain guns should be illegal, they should do background checks, so on and so forth. Cause that makes a lot of sense to take guns from fucking people so that criminals who don't obey laws anyways will not buy a gun. Not is it because they won't break the law and commit a crime. After all, it's not like criminals come from the word crime, is in people who commit crimes. This wouldn't create a huge black market. This wouldn't lead to massive amounts of fucking guns being bought in the black market and then becoming $1 million industry, and law-abiding citizens either not having guns and being victimized and taken advantage of by criminals, and either that or having to go and break the law and give money into the black market instead of to the government, through taxation, so we at least have some idea who's getting the guns, so at least it can be monitored. So that was that. You had the thing where Alex Jones brought on Piers Morgan and debated over gun control, which I think was a good debate. A lot of people gave him shit for it, but I think that he really made a good point. I think that they would have tried to, they probably would have tried to cage the man in a certain way and sort of dictated the pace or the direction of the debate. Morgan has done that before, as I believe, and I think Jones did a good job. As far as the mass murder, suicide pills, everyone gave him shit about. That's actually correct. There are certain medications that people take. It says on the bottle. It says that it can cause people to kill themselves and commit mass murders or to kill others. It can do that. That's well known, and it's mainly prescribed to children to make them sit in an unnatural environment that they're not meant to be in, to learn shit they usually don't need to know, and sit there and learn things in a very slow, dictatorial pace, and a very slow dictatorial fashion or style. They have to sit there and learn this. So you give them medication to make them sit there, and if they don't, then you say they have a mental disorder, when in fact this is a natural reaction to things that are boring, and things that are boring and not interesting, and things that are just not, the natural reaction is to not give a shit. So you had that. You had the Boston bombings, which they blamed on the Tsarnaev brothers, so that they killed one of the brothers they killed, okay, and then the other one they shot in the fucking throat, because of all the places a gun wound can happen, it's in the throat. Or I forget, this was a long time ago, I really don't give a shit, this is long shit. They might have shot himself in the throat, but anyways, I don't buy that for 1 minute. I think part of the reason why he was shot in the throat is that they don't want him telling more than what he knows. They don't want him to say too much. That he might have larger connections. That he supposedly has all these connections with I think it's the CIA and different shit, that he had connections with them. And in video footage that the media wouldn't show you, they had people walking around with one of them that was part of a private security group. I can't think of the name, but one of their symbols is a skull, and one of the guys had a skull on their cap, and they were wearing military style pants and uniforms, and one of them had a gadget in his hand that looked like something that would be in control of an explosive. They had footage of this. And then there were several other people, and they went into their room, one of them at night, no trial, no charges, no trial, no anything, just shot them dead. So now they can't testify in this case. You had, this year you had a string of disasters across, I think, the Midwest and across America, tornadoes and hurricanes and things like that. Earthquakes increased, and lots of big storms. Who would have thought that if you put enough pollution out into the atmosphere, bomb enough shit, put enough pollution out into the atmosphere, dump oil in the fucking ocean, and other very bad negative things that we do to the environment. Who could have possibly have thought that that would lead to natural disasters like we're seeing, and global warming and everything else? And I still don't. And then you have chemtrails, which is a whole another issue in and of itself that I believe is also contributing to this. You have Paula Deen said the N-word, so we had to shut her up because she said a word we didn't like, so you basically wrecked her life, kicked her off TV. She lost her fortune and everything else because of this. Then we have the similar situation where Phil Robertson from Duck Dynasty said a hell of a lot worse things, but about gay people, and he was suspended for about 2 weeks and then got his job back. After you had drug Paula Deen through the mud for just saying the N-word, you give this guy a job back. So I guess we know who society favors in society, right now. You had the Trayvon Martin issue, which basically this idiot wanted to follow this guy because he thought he was going to rob something. He should have minded his own business. He didn't. He attacked the guy. He followed the guy. He lost him. He went back to his truck. The guy attacked him. He was beating him up, and he shot him. Happens every day. The guy who, George Zimmerman, he's not even white. His mother's Peruvian. He was accused of a hate crime. There's no reason to believe this was black. They edited the phone audio. They edited audio to try to make it sound like he had called him a coon or all kinds of shit, where in fact he didn't say that. Later recordings showed that he never said that. The media edited to make it look that way. They showed pictures of this 17-year-old, 6 foot something tall, 200 something pound guy is being like a 12-year-old, pictures of him from when he was 12, 13, 14 years old, to make the viewer feel sympathy for him. And they showed pictures of Zimmerman when he was really, when he was arrested, a mugshot of him to make him look bad. And this was basically designed to turn blacks and whites against each other, get the racists fighting, take everyone's mind off all this other stuff, off other stuff that's going on, off the bad economics, off the wars, off the violations of their civil rights, off actual police abuse that occurs in this country. The police this year shot a guy in his yard, no fucking reason. It was a black dude, shot him in his yard, no fucking reason, in his own car. That's not important. This is what's important. And that's the main stories. Think of something of Syria. We tried to go to war with Syria. Kerry said the wrong thing. He fucked up, put his foot in his mouth like always. The Russian president, who turned out to be a bigger help for civil rights than our own country. He's more helpful to human rights than our own country, and we're supposed to be the land of the free. The former Soviet Union, their president helped prevent war that we tried to start by saying that why doesn't Syria get rid of their weapons of mass destruction. Of course, they are now doing that. We prevented war in Syria. And there's other examples, and I've uploaded another video about that. The government was shut down by the Republicans, because you retards that got elected Republicans. And that's it. And I predict this year will be the same, if not worse. You'll continue mutilating your baby's dicks. You'll continue not trying to violate homosexual rights. That was one good thing. We did get gay rights, a lot of gay rights this year, gay marriage and things. That was good. But you're trying to get rid of that. You're trying to overturn that this year. You're trying to, you'll probably get microchipped. They're probably going to start pushing the microchipping. You'll probably give up your guns. You're going to not do anything. You're sit on your ass. You're going to continue going to church and believing a bunch of bullshit. You're not going to do anything. The feminists are going to continue to care about unimportant issues instead of things that matter, like for example, like the white slave trade, where millions of women, I don't know why it's called white and Asian women mainly, are transported across the world, usually into the Middle East, and sold as sex slaves. The feminists aren't going to talk about that, or female genital mutilation, or anything else. They're going to continue to bitch about little issues like video game characters, or a song like Blurred Lines, and they're going to continue to hate on men, and they're going to continue to bitch about some guy calling them bossy, like that labels against women video, and it's going to be the same old shit, and that's that. And it's just going to be a bad year. It's always a bad year, and you fucking people are stupid, and that's it. P666.